But I'm going to show you that, Avery. And if you can prove me wrong, I'll delete this video and this whole channel and you'll never see me again publicly. I give you my word on that. Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back. I'm JBrancatella. And today's episode is not clickbait. Trust me, if Mr. Avery, aka GodLogic, can respond appropriately to this video and show me how I'm wrong, show me how he's not a liar, show me how he's not someone who is being fed information from ChatGPT or Discord messages or private WhatsApp messages while he's having discussions and debates with somebody like me. If he can show me that I'm misrepresenting Justin Martyr and that I'm actually the one who's lying and that I'm the one who's misinterpreting Justin Martyr, then I will delete this channel and my other previous channel and I will never start another new channel. Trust me, I give you my word to both the Muslims and Christians out there that you will never see JBrancatella, the Muslim metaphysician, again if Avery can simply meet this challenge. Now, what am I referring to? I recently had 2 discussions with Avery, and in one of them, he made several bold claims about Justin Martyr. I'm going to play you a short clip from that and then review it and expose how this man is an absolute liar. And if he can prove me wrong, I will delete everything and you'll never see me again. Let's take a look. Assalamu alaikum everyone. If you're enjoying this video and the other content on my channel and would like to continue to do so and see my channel grow, then please consider supporting my work at the pinned links at the top of the description of this video as well as in the comment section. Your support is much needed and appreciated. Barakallahu feek. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and reward you all.
So what you talking about, bro? Justin Martyr's killing you. Let's read Justin Martyr again. He says the word is sent not as an inanimate power, but as a person begotten of the Father's substance. He appears in a vision sometimes. That cannot be born is called a man and a human being because he appears arrayed in such forms as the Father pleases. And they call him the Word because he carries tidings from the Father to men, but maintain, I'll wait till it's done, but maintain that this power is indivisible and inseparable from the Father. You're done. Stop going to Justin Martyr.
Make Jake big screen. Make Jake big screen.
I'm not done. Hey, down, boy. Down.
30 seconds.
Down, boy. Down, boy. Down, boy. Down, boy. It's all good, boys. It's all good, boys.
Sit down.
This is the logic.
Mute up like a little one.
So let me land my point. Let me land my point. Down, boy.
Like a little one, mute up. It's been 2 minutes.
It's okay.
Mute up.
It's okay. Now let me land my point.
It's been 2 minutes.
With that being said, designer, let me land my point. With that being said, appreciate it. With that being said, even according to Justin Martyr, according to our early church fathers, even according to what you went to, Jake. With that case, man, salam almasih to all you guys.
Yeah, mute up. I'm gonna give Jake
salam almasih.
He's gonna run away.
Well, this is it, man.
Keep barking.
Run away, Logic.
Keep barking. Run away.
Let me
with your tail behind you. With your tail behind you.
This is the logic effect.
Go.
I appreciate y'all.
Mute up.
Leave, bro. Leave.
Hey, designer, I love you, man. Thanks for having me again.
No worries, man. I got word and I'm going.
Yeah. Thanks for the monologue.
For sure, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Run, you coward.
Leave with the tail behind
mute or what, bro?
Leave.
Are you gonna mute or what?
Yo, guys,
Yeah,
let Jake speak, man. Let Jake speak.
Oh, he ran away. Oh.
So he wanted the extra minute, and then he runs.
He ran away. Your boy running like a track star. Woo! Man, he ran faster than you could blink because I was just
Jake with an extra 2 minutes, and he decided to run.
Okay, so let me show you why this guy was running, guys. He was running because if you watch. Okay, so let me show you. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to show you why Avery GodLogic ran away. He made some amazing, very bold claims about Justin Martyr, one of the early church fathers, which I know for a fact he's never read. He has no idea what he's talking about, and he's admitted that in other places. But I'm going to demonstrate that very clearly, how he was fed information either through ChatGPT or even worse, through people sending him Discord messages or WhatsApp messages or some kind of direct messages while he was live. Because if he had read this himself prior to the discussion, prior to the debate, he would have never read it out loud. Now I'm going to show you what he just read. Let's take a look. He was claiming to quote Justin Martyr, right? So listen to the beginning of the clip again.
So what you talking about, bro? Justin Martyr's killing you. Let's read Justin Martyr again. He says the word.
He says, let's read Justin Martyr again. Now listen to what he says.
Word is sent not as an inanimate power.
He said the word is sent not as an inanimate power. Now where does that come from? Let me stop sharing my screen on this video and let me show you where this comes from. Avery didn't give the source, but I'm going to show you what the source is. This is Dialogue with Trypho, and this is the New Advent version, which he was reading from, or someone gave him the translation from New Advent. And notice he read, the word is not sent as an inanimate power, but as a person begotten of the Father's substance. Now hold on a second. Jake, how are you going to show that Avery's a liar and he is misrepresenting Justin Martyr? Well, guess what, guys? This is a chapter heading. These are not Justin Martyr's words. This is a chapter heading placed after the fact by New Advent. It's not even Justin Martyr's words. So when he said, I'm going to read for you what Justin Martyr said, and he started with this, the word is sent not as an inanimate power, but as a person begotten of the Father's substance. These are not Justin Martyr's words. So this is the first challenge for you, Mr. Avery. Show me that what you just quoted directly here, Dialogue with Trypho, chapter 128, the chapter heading, show me that those are Justin Martyr's words. They're not, you moron, you buffoon, you fool. Whoever fed you that information during the debate put you on the chopping block, sir. Unbelievable. They gave you the wrong information. They gave you a chapter heading. Those are not Justin Martyr's words. Now, to show you that, because I know Mr. Avery doesn't actually read. I actually read. For better or worse, I have my good qualities and my bad qualities. But one of the good qualities that I have is I actually read. So this is from the Fathers of the Church series, okay? This is all of Justin Martyr's authentic texts, along with some texts that are not actually genuine to him. And this is from the Dialogue with Trypho section, chapter 128, as you can see here, folks. Chapter 128, okay? Chapter 128. Now, what I want you to recognize is, where it says chapter 128, there is no text that says the word is sent not as an inanimate power, but as a person begotten of the Father's substance. In fact, there's nothing there in the text. Nothing whatsoever. Do you know why there's nothing there? Why is there nothing there other than Jake's chicken scratch writing and highlighter marks and stars, because I've actually read it, is because it's not only chapter 128. Let's go back at a previous chapter. Chapter 127. What does it say there next to chapter 127? Nothing, because there are no chapter headings. That does not go back to Justin Martyr. Those are chapter headings written by New Advent, trying to explain to you what they think the text is saying, even though that's a misrepresentation of what the text actually says in chapter 128. So you said those are Justin Martyr's words, and they're not. You've been busted. Okay? Now let's read the next part. The next part that he quotes is actually from Justin, but I'm going to show you how he completely misrepresents it. Okay? Now let me just go back to the video so you can see that again.
So what you talking about, bro? Justin Martyr's killing you. Let's read
And it's funny because his wife is laughing in the background, but she's never read Justin Martyr either. Neither of them. right? Dumb and Dumber, neither of them have even read Justin Martyr at all.
Martyr again. He says the word is sent not as an inanimate power, but as a person begotten of the Father's substance.
That part that he just read is a chapter heading. Those are not Justin Martyr's words. Now let's listen to the part that is Justin Martyr's words, quoted from the same chapter, chapter 128.
He appears in a vision sometimes that cannot be born is called a man and a human being because he appears arrayed in such forms as the Father pleases. And they call him the Word because he carries tidings from the Father to men, but maintain, I'll wait till it's done, but maintain that this power is indivisible and inseparable from the Father. You're done. Stop going to Justin Martyr.
So he made the same mistake that Inspiring Philosophy and William Albrecht did. They think that the passage that he just quoted, that Justin is applying that view to himself and affirming it for himself. But in actual fact, when he says about the indivisible and inseparable from the Father part, Justin's actually anticipating an objection, attributing that view to somebody else, and attempting to refute it. He's refuting the view that the Father and Son, or the Father and the Word, are indivisible and inseparable from one another. But this is later Nicene dogmatic language, that the Father and Son are indivisible and inseparable from one another. So when low-tier donuts, low IQ individuals like Avery and Inspiring Philosophy and even Sam Shamoon and William Albrecht, when they read these passages and they see indivisible and inseparable, and they see Justin Martyr saying it, they're saying, oh yeah, this is the exact language that we believe in. So we're going to attribute it to Justin. It's like these bells and whistles and signals and sirens are going off in their brain when they read indivisible and inseparable without properly putting it in a context to know that Justin is attributing that view to somebody else and refuting it. Therefore, he disagrees with Nicene orthodoxy. You bozos. But I'm going to show you that, Avery, and if you can prove me wrong, I'll delete this video and this whole channel and you'll never see me again publicly. I give you my word on that. So let's now stop sharing my screen and I'm going to show you and I'm going to break down this chapter for you very slowly, Mr. Avery, because I know you've never read it. To the contrary, I've actually read it, right? You can see all my notes here. It's not just one text. It's any page that you open up, you're going to see Jake writing something, going through the notes, right? And it's not just Justin Martyr, to be fair. I actually read, guys. I actually have books. These are the letters of Ignatius, okay? What do you see? Open up a random page. I didn't plan this out. There you see, highlighting, okay? I actually read the text. Unlike Avery getting fed things during a live. Then you have Irenaeus, another great church father, right? What do you have here? Open up a random page. You see highlighting and notes. Okay, so I actually read contrary to what many claim, and Avery certainly doesn't, and he's never read Justin Martyr. He's definitely never read this passage from Justin prior to our discussion. So as you can see here on the screen now, chapter 128, okay, this was the heading where he said, this is what Justin Martyr said. The word is sent, not as an inanimate power, but as a person begotten of the Father's substance. That's a chapter heading, not Justin Martyr's words. Then he picked up reading all the way down here, where it says here, because he appears, right? That's where he started reading again. Because he appears, that's where he jumped to. Because he appears arrayed in such forms as the Father pleases. And they, so Justin is not talking about himself, he's ascribing this view to somebody else. And they call him the Word because he carries tidings from the Father to men, but maintain that this power is indivisible and inseparable from the Father. Wow, Jake, there it proves it. He believes the Father and Son are God and indivisible and inseparable from each other. That's Nicene Trinitarianism, right? No, not at all. So let's look at what Justin is actually saying. We're going to skip the chapter heading, which are not his words, And we're going to start from Justin here. It says, "And that Christ being Lord and God, the Son of God, and appearing formerly in power as man and angel, and in the glory of fire as at the bush, so also was maintained that the judgment executed on Sodom has been demonstrated fully by what has been said. Then I repeated once more all that I had previously quoted from Exodus about the vision in the bush and the naming of Joshua Jesus, and continued." So these are all Justin Martyr's words now. But you have to be clear, Justin Martyr, as I quoted from chapter 56 of the same dialogue, he believes that the Son is God, but he believes he's another God, separate and distinct, and subject to the maker of all things, who's the Father alone. So Justin continues here, and he says, this is a key part. "And do not suppose, sirs, that I am speaking superfluously when I repeat these words frequently, but it is because I know that some wish to anticipate these remarks." So he's saying he's being repetitive because he knows that some are going to anticipate these remarks. And then what does he say? He says, "And to say that the power sent from the Father of all, which appeared to Moses or to Abraham or to Jacob, is called an angel because he came to men. For by him the commands of the Father have been proclaimed to men. Is called glory because he appears in a vision, sometimes that cannot be borne." Okay, right? So this is where Avery started reading from. "Because he appears in a vision, sometimes that cannot be borne. Is called a man and a human being, because he appears arrayed in such forms as the Father pleases. And they call him the Word." They call him the Word. Now, Justin Martyr does too, but he's explaining somebody else's view. "They call him the Word because he carries tidings from the Father to men, but maintain that this power is indivisible and inseparable from the Father." Now, does Justin believe that, or is he attributing it to somebody else and he's going to refute it? Watch what he says. "Just as they say," the same ones who say that the power, the Word, is indivisible and inseparable from the Father. What else did they say? They say, and they make the analogy, just as a light of the sun on earth is indivisible and inseparable from the sun in the heavens, as when it sinks, the light sinks along with it. So the Father, when he chooses, say they, meaning they, it's all their view, not Justin's, causes his power to spring back forth, and when he chooses, he makes it return to himself. In this way, they teach," meaning these people who I'm going to show you, they're actually modalist heretics. "In this way, they teach he made the angels, but it is proved that there are angels who always exist and are never reduced to that form out of which they sprang. And that this power which the prophetic word calls God, as has been also amply demonstrated, and angel, is not numbered as different in name only, like the light of the sun, but is something numerically distinct." So this previous section, all here, as you can see, this is someone else's position, okay? This is a modalist position. I'm going to show you this from actual Trinitarian scholars who know how to read Justin, not only in English, but in the original language, and don't just aren't misled by chapter headings input several thousand years later by somebody else. So, right? This is all from somebody else, the modalists. They say, that's what Justin is constantly saying. Then this part here, right? This is when it becomes Justin's own view, right? This is when it becomes Justin's own view. He says, "And that this power," he says it's been amply demonstrated, "that this power which the prophetic word calls God, as has also been amply demonstrated," meaning that's his position, Justin's now, "is not numbered as different in name only, like the light of the sun, but is indeed something numerically distinct." So Justin, remember the analogy? The analogy of the people who believe that the Father and Son are indivisible and inseparable? What analogy do they use? They use the analogy of the sun and its light. Justin says that the people who use the analogy of the sun and light believe that the Father and Son, or the Father and the power, which is the Word, are numbered as different in name only, like the light of the sun. Who are the people who believe that the Father and Son are different in name only? Those are called modalists, that the Father and Son are the same person, but these are just two different names that refer to the same person. This is the heresy of modalism, which Justin is refuting. But he opposes that analogy and says, no, they are indeed something numerically distinct. So the Father and Son are not indivisible and inseparable, like the modalists believe about the sun and its light, according to Justin. He says they are indeed something numerically distinct. And then he gives his own analogy and opposes the analogy of the sun and its light, which is a heretical modalistic analogy. He says, I have discussed briefly in what has gone before, when I asserted that this power was begotten from the Father by his power and will, but not by abscission, as if the essence of the Father were divided. And again, this part is misrepresented. Avery didn't read that, but I'm going to show you it's not what many of these Trinitarians claim. As all other things partitioned and divided are not the same after they were divided. And for the sake of example, he gives his own example. I took the case of fires kindled from a fire, which we see to be distinct from it, meaning they are separate. And yet, that from which many can be kindled is by no means made less, but remains the same. Now, I'm going to break this down for you, not just by some wacky Muslim interpretation, but by actual Trinitarian scholars. So, here, in this text, which is from Dennis Mins, who I've had the pleasure of speaking to privately about many of these issues, he says, and I quote, the Logos is described as another God, heteros theos. Dialogue with Trifo 62, 128, which is the passage we just read, 129, distinct in number but not in intention. He says this has been taken to imply that the two are the same in substance. But Justin means, as Trifo understands him to mean, that the other God has never done or said anything other than what the maker of all intends, right? So this is about not them having the same substance. This is about the Son carrying out the will of the Father. For them to have the same will means that the Son is carrying out the will of what the Father commands. But he is another God who is distinct in number, meaning he's a distinct God, a second God, heteros theos. Then, notice, and this is now he's going to give an exegesis of, or an explanation of, chapter 128, the passage we just read, continuing. Justin disagrees with those, perhaps among his co-religionists, who believe that this power is indivisible and inseparable from the Father. Wait a second. Is Justin affirming that view? Or is he disagreeing with those who say the Father and Son are indivisible and inseparable? According to patristic scholar who specializes in Justin Martyr, Dennis Mins, Justin disagrees with that view and is refuting it. Justin disagrees with those, perhaps among his co-religionists, who believe that this power is indivisible and inseparable from the Father, in the way the light of the sun is inseparable from the sun itself. Dialogue 128, that's what we just read, boys. When Justin says that the Logos was begotten from the Father by the Father's power and will, and not by abscission, this is to eliminate any suggestion that the divine substance, ousia, is divided or altered. It is not to make a claim of substantial unity of the Logos with God. Dennis Mins, The Cambridge History of Philosophy in Late Antiquity, page 264. I can send it to you if you want, Mr. Avery, because I know you don't read. It's obvious you didn't read this passage. You were attributing a chapter title heading that is by later authors, thousands of years later. You said those were Justin Martyr's words. You lied on Justin Martyr. Then, from Dennis Mins, along with another scholar, Paul Parvis, in a text where they translate from Justin Martyr's original works, They say chapter 128 of the dialogue, which has many resonances with this chapter 63 of the First Apology, suggests that it was Christian modalists that Justin was attacking. So Justin was attacking Christian modalists who believed that the Father and Son analogy was similar to the sun and its light and differed in name only. Justin refutes that view, says it's not his. He does not believe the Father and Son are indivisible and inseparable, refutes the modalists, and instead gives his own analogy of two fires that you see as distinct. Why? Because he believes that they're separate from each other, not like the sun and its light, which are indivisible and inseparable in that analogy. So you are baked. You are absolutely busted. You are cooked beyond belief, Mr. Avery, so-called Sheikh Logic. You are completely barbecue chickened. And you, unfortunately, are passing off this false understanding to your own students. I had to bake one of them, this girl, which just was released as another video on my channel. So here's the challenge once again. If Mr. Avery, GodLogic, can demonstrate that the part of the text that he read, which was actually a chapter heading from New Advent, if he can actually show in that passage in chapter 128 that those are Justin Martyr's words, I will delete this channel. But he doesn't say that. He does not say that at all. And secondly, if you can show the part of the text that you read that you were attributing to Justin Martyr, the sun and its light analogy of the Father and the Word being indivisible and inseparable from one another, if you can demonstrate that that's Justin Martyr's position and not a heretical modalist position which Justin Martyr was refuting, then again, I will delete this channel and you will never see me again publicly. But if you can't do that, then at the very least, come out, be honest, and say, okay, Jake, I disagree with you about a lot of things. I disagree with you about Islam. I believe in the Trinity. Say all of those things. You can even still say that you believe that Justin Martyr is a Trinitarian. But say that the passage you read, the chapter heading was not even authentic to Justin, number one. Number two, admit that the view you ascribe to Justin is actually Justin's opponent's view and he's attempting to refute it. If you admit that and admit that you were wrong about this, I will have a little bit more respect for you regarding your honesty, and I think many in the Muslim community will as well. I'm not asking you to delete your channel, because I know you won't. But just come out and honestly admit that you were wrong about this. And if you can do that, then maybe in my next video, where I demonstrate how you're wrong again about other issues, maybe that will open doors for you to continue to be honest and admit that you got baked and you were wrong. But it's not the first time that you did this with Justin Martyr. Remember when you made the error and mistake where you said that Justin Martyr refuted the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and then you went and turned back and said, no, I meant John of Damascus. And then I showed how John of Damascus, in that text that you were probably referencing, actually claimed that certain things were in the Quran that have never even been there. And that no scholar, even Orientalist scholars who are skeptical of the Islamic narrative, none of them believe that this is actually authentic to the Quran or ever was. So you can't really hide behind John of Damascus either. You can't hide behind Justin Martyr. Admit that you were wrong, either that you were lying on Justin Martyr deliberately and apologize for that, or that the people who fed you that information, and tell us who it was. Was it Nick? Was it your buddy Nick who was feeding you this information that is not authentic to Justin? That's a chapter heading and a view that he is refuting of somebody else? Let us know. Tell us the truth. Come out and admit that the information you were fed live during the debate from ChatGPT or Discord server was wrong and they misled you and you're sorry to your audience. Admit it and we'll have a little bit more respect for you, but still it won't change the facts that you got baked and you're barbecue chicken, son. If you guys enjoyed this video and the content on my channel and would like to see more videos like this, then please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you get notified of future videos. Like, comment, let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. Share this on your social media platforms or with your friends and family. No matter how big or how small your reach is, it really does help with the algorithm, guys. But until next time, inshallah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.